What say you, John? There's the devil to pay. I just got to do it every time. I know that this is not where those words were said. They were over at the seminary, which you can barely see from here. Day one, day one, day one. Some of the most gallant actions of the war, or of the Battle of Gettysburg. By the way, if you ever want to tell which way the enemy was coming, look at the cannons. Those are pointing about due directly north. Sorry about the road noise. So, of course, that's General John Buford over there. Get the sun out of the way. Well, there's the horse's patoot and General John Reynolds. Something really cool here. This, of course, is listing off his military record, but I want to focus on just one little thing of note. He was breveted Captain U.S. Army September 1846 for gallant and meritorious conduct at Monterrey, Mexico, and in February 1847 for gallant and meritorious conduct at Buena Vista, Mexico. That means he almost certainly knew General Lew Wallace, one of my favorite guys of the Civil War. So I'm just gonna kind of saunter off and maybe get away from the road, discuss a little more about day one, see if I can kind of clear something up. And that is, why Gettysburg? Why Gettysburg? Why here? And again, I've gone over this a bit, but it's for those mostly who are just checking in, who have started following fairly recently, and much of this a lot of you folks probably already know. Bruce Catton said it was because all the roads led there. That's true. Some people call it a myth, but have evidence to support it. That, let me see, let me get my generals right. I guess maybe Pettigrew and Ewell were quote-unquote looking for shoes. That's also true. You know, supplies in general. Water, food, shoes, what have you. Probably gonna get another tick. I get a tick every time. You guys want to stay on the path, that's fine. I'll do what I do. Some people say it's because Lee had to remain aggressive and bring the war to the north. There's a lot of truth in that statement, but it goes a little bit deeper. Now, in 1864, he tried one last time, as I've gone over, at the Battle of Monocacy, to scare the capital city of Washington, D.C., and to perhaps foil Lincoln's re-election plans. Let's not forget, the whole war didn't really begin because of Fort Sumter. It began because Lincoln was elected. All right, just to clear up the facts. And there's one more general reason, at least. I'll try to think of some more. And that is that Lee was on a general foraging mission. The Union had made incursions into Virginia, ruined a lot of farmland. Of course, that was really about to get real in 1864 with the Valley Campaign, Virginia's breadbasket. But at this point, you know, because they had fewer resources, money, technology, etc., etc., they were already in a position where scavenging or scouring countrysides for whatever that they could get. That's also true. That's why they were fanned out in Pennsylvania and, you know, at least 5 different towns. They were here before the Battle of Gettysburg. They were also in, you know, everywhere. Hanover, Harrisburg, you name it. They were all over Carlisle. They were all over South Central PA. All over it, like white on rice, looking for whatever they could get. Because they needed food, they needed supplies. Again, Gettysburg was not a big town. There were bigger towns back then. It wasn't a tiny town. Its population was about 3,000 at the time of the war, time of the battle. And it's true also that the Union, again, was moving with alarming speed, a little more speed than Lee was used to. You know, similar to his campaign in 1862. So he had to have everybody converge. And getting back to Bruce Catton, most roads in the area, if not all, led to Gettysburg. So there you have it. I mean, trying to find simple answers to any questions about any significant event in history, certainly including the Battle of Gettysburg, it's quite 101. It oversimplifies matters, and I'm not saying you have to be an expert and you have to dive knee deep into this stuff to understand it, because you don't. But you have to realize there's always more than one reason for anything, just about anything political. And as we know, all wars are political in nature. That's also 101. And that trying to simplify why the Battle of Gettysburg happened here into one neat little package or one answer is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Just the same as in trying to find one reason why the Civil War was fought. I beg folks who are just getting into this stuff to remain open-minded, take context into consideration, other events going on in the 19th century, and try to see the big picture. You know, there are a lot of experts, a lot of pros out there who are really great at the little picture, or as Chris White from the American Battlefield Trust says, taking things from, you know, a 500-foot level down to you know, the 50-foot level. That's for the experts, guys. You know, to start to begin to understand things, you want to try to see the big picture. I mean, that's my take on it anyways. But just came over here to this noisy road to salute Buford and Reynolds. Take you a little bit closer. I'll see you guys soon.